And these pictures now live from Ballymore. In fact, since I was last at Ballymore, it seems they've built a temporary stand down at that far end. Still a grass bank on the far side, and it looks a cloudy day in Brisbane today. The Queensland Rugby Union officials today expecting a crowd of around about 7,000 or so. We'll be able to join the commentators at Ballymore in just a couple of minutes or so. Murray Mexted, what are the prospects for this game here? A classic combination, I suppose, between a big side and a little side.
Yes, well, I mean, it's an unknown quantity, isn't it, really? I'm sure that the Americans will play with the American enthusiasm, and the Japanese with the spirit that we've observed. I remember one game they played in Cardiff, I think it was, a couple of years ago. They were absolutely brilliant. I think we'll have another good game in front of us, and I hope the Australians will appreciate it.
Bernie, the American captain, Ed Burlingham, has said that he intends for his team to just blast the Japanese off the park. Now, I suspect that if the Japanese get good quality ball, they're going to be able to run the Americans off their feet.
I think so. The Japanese, they're very well prepared, and their strength is going to be the support play. And, you know, off the mark, most Japanese, the players you do see, they off, you know, say 20 metres, they've got devastating acceleration, and through their support play, you know, I think that as long as they keep it moving around and looking for the holes, and once they're through it, you know, I don't think the Americans will stop them.
All right, well, we must realise that as far as matches between these two nations are concerned, they have played just twice before, once during each of the last 2 years. In 1986, it was a 9-all draw. That was in San Diego. And in 1985, the United States won by 16-15. So their previous clashes would suggest another very close contest again this afternoon at Ballymore. Let's now check the two teams. Australia hosting Japan against USA.
Lacking height in the line-out, but have a world-class hooker in Fujita, a tireless captain Hayashi, and a very speedy back row as well. So well-balanced Japanese team. Also two native Tongans in the side as well. Latu on the side, and the winger Lafumulu. Well, plenty of experience in the American side, with 7 of the team over the age of 30. They've pace on the wings in Purcell and Hine, a solid pair of halves, and a weighty forward pack led by number 5, Ed Burlingham. Japanese side out first, led by their captain, Toshiyuki Hayashi. Plenty of power, not much height. I think this Ballymore crowd's certainly looking forward to the skills of this Japanese side. Had plenty of international experience over the last few years, especially in Europe. Toured England and Scotland last year. Now the American team led out by Ed Burlingham. 36 years of age, Ed Burlingham. Last toured Australia in '83 with the American side when he captained the American team also on that occasion. The cheers going up for the American team. Japanese national anthem. Tushu Oyagi at this end. Shigi Kono, the president of the Japanese Rugby Union. Now the American national anthem. Played guys in the huddle. The American team would challenge the Welsh with their singing. So teams out in the field now. There's the Japanese captain, Toshiyuki Hayashi, number 4. A responsibility on him today. In the line out and also in the loose. There's the American captain, number 5, Ed Burlingham. Just a few last-minute instructions for his team. Referee Guy Moret from France for this first round World Cup match. Perfect conditions for football, little or no breeze. The flags on the scoreboard almost limp. It's Joe Clarkson to start play for the United States. Just goes the 10 metres. Japanese ball taken in there by Latu. Akutu waits behind the halfback, not coming out of there though. And the ball not going the 10 metres, rules the referee. So back to the halfway line, no advantage going to Japan.
This is our opportunity to see the difference in the two scrumming styles. One, the huge pack of the USA, but I tell you what, they'll have trouble shifting this committed Japanese pack today.
Akutu kicking behind Hine there, back into his quarter. Straight back to Ray Nelson. Off the left foot, not a good kick though, off the side of the boot. Maybe just a few early nerves from both teams. And so Japan inside the American quarter.
Moving amongst the players before the game, Peter, that feeling of nerves was very much evident in the United States camp. They know what's at stake today. They're out there to strike the first blow in the World Cup.
Fuji to throw in. One by Japan. Hiro. It goes out to on Nuku. In centre field. Collapsing that maul. And Japan get the put in. Interesting to watch the real pace in this Japanese team. Akuta to feed. Penalty goes to United States. No, Japan, in fact, right in front of the goalposts. So a chance here for Japan to add first points to the game as Hayashi, the captain, says, let's take the 3 points.
collapsing in the scrum, and I'm sure Coach May's not too happy about the situation.
This should be simple 3 points for Japan. Kutsugi. In fact, it's Yoshinaga, the outside centre, right in front. Looks good. It's there, so first points of the game going to Japan. They lead by 3 points to 0 after 3 minutes of play. Certainly a confidence boost for the Japanese, scoring the first points of the game. This time it goes to 10 metres. Picked up though there by Miyamoto. Now Clarkson has it, lays it back to his forwards. Hine, knocked down by Vizard. Clarkson. Mukai, instead taken by Nafumu. The whistler's gone. And some words there. There's Ron Mays. Certainly a little bit happy with that. It's a passenger play for the United States. Two Tongans in this Japanese side. Nafamulu finds touch on the far side.
Just the two settling kicks so far. The one by the Americans showing the pattern that I think they're going to play. Tuck the ball in behind the Japanese forwards, keep it off the Japanese backs, and use the power of their back row, just hitting the man taking the ball.
Trapped in there, the ball, not coming out. Referee Moret orders the scrum.
Watch how low this Japanese scrum packs. Their whole body height, in fact, in all facets of play, is very compact and very low.
Work it round the short side. There's Saunders, back it goes inside, but the whistler's gone. Vizard almost away there, number 8 for the United States, the big number 8.
Great play that time by the halfback, Mike Saunders. Shot the open side, or the short side of the scrum it was, but went wide. Fed back inside, and referee right on the spot. Definitely a knock-on. Sorry, a forward pass.
Scrum on the quarter line in Japanese territory. Collapsing there, so penalty goes to the United States. It looks like Ray Nelson coming up to have a shot for goal. So a difficult kick for the fullback. Nelson, veteran of 5 tests for the United States. 25 years of age, that's the distance you can see. Just moving a couple of pieces of loose turf. This is a ground quite damp underfoot, but still in good condition. Chance for the United States to equalise here. On the quarter line, 7 metres in. Hits pretty well. It's there. So scores a level now. It's 3-all after 5 minutes of play.
Both teams using the same tactics to get down and deep into the opposition's territory, using the kick and then the forward thrust, and relying on the error to come, and on both occasions it did. 3 points all.
Restart from Yoshinaga. Purcell takes it. That's Clarkson, the 5'8", off the left foot. Is Stockley built 5'8", Joe Clarkson. Has only played 1 test. That was against Japan in '86.
Very stocky for a 5'8", Peter. We're used to seeing the very nimble-footed thinner guys. He looks like a back rower more than anything.
So it's Fujita to throw in the short line out. Won by Hayashi well. Hiro, they're running it. Quick hands. Taken though there by Chida, number 8. In centre field. Good drive for the Japanese forwards. Hiro, top of goal. It's charged down by Hainu. Offside though, Roy Hainu. And so another chance for Japan to add a further 3 points. Hiro set himself for the field goal attempt, but Hainu threw quickly and caught offside.
I must give it to the French referee, Mr. Moret. He's right on the spot. He was watching that offside line closely, and I tell you, if they hadn't have been up offside, that could well have been 3 points for Japan.
Yoshinaga, 1 out of 1 so far. This kick in front, but 25 metres out. Hits it well. He's missed it though, out to the left. Score remains 3-3 after 8 minutes of play. Should have been converted that by Yoshinaga. It's Ray Nelson, the fullback. Loose pass back from Saunders. Into touch finally. A penalty looks like, is it? Goes Japan. Some interference there from the Americans.
I think he may well have penalised either for interfering or for intentionally pushing the ball into touch, Brent. But the penalty's been given right on that line. If it was the latter, he would have brought it in field.
Tap move here. Lost by Latu. There's Halu. Loose pass. Purcell can't pick it up. Saunders does though. Into touch though finally. Good covering tackle there by the fullback, Yukai.
Good defensive work by the Americans. That time composed under pressure. Worked the ball out with the ball in the hands, and that's the way to do it. Up the line, close to the touch line, no mistakes.
Taken well by Hiro.
Using every variation there is in the book, Japan, and they'll probably show us a few more before the day's open. That time, the centre fielding the ball after it had come over the end of the line out.
Held at the back by Vizard. Caught by Latu though. Clarkson. Kicking towards the far side and finding touch 10 metres from halfway. It's Joe Clarkson only playing 1 test so far. That was against Japan last year in the 9-9 draw. One of the biggest cameras seen at Ballymore for a while. Hayashi knocks it down. Ikuda can't control though.
Of course, it's always the problem with the short, snappy line-outs when that ball's pushed out quickly. It's the gathering that's the skill in it. Twice the ball gone to deck, twice off Japanese hands.
Everett in the centre. Up goes Vizard. He can't control it though for the Americans. Finally, Warhurst goes the loose ball. Clarkson kicks it high. Mukai underneath it. Can't take it though. Taken by Warhurst as Halu is knocked down. The ball goes loose. Also through there was Higgins, the centre.
Well, it's that taped red head of number 13, Higgins, there that comes through. Watch him. Chases through the kick of Clarkson. He's through. Eyes on the ball. Didn't take them off him for a minute. Here he is going strongly onwards.
That's Kusuku's caught. Finally put away there by Honuku. An untidy piece of play there from Japan.
Good pressure by the Americans. Putting the ball in behind the Japanese forward pack seems to be the tactics at the moment. Looking every opportunity to turn them around.
3, 5, 9.
It's Latu for Japan at the back. Won easily by Burlingham there. Saunders waits. Who's got it? Goes back to Japan. And Akutu is wrestling the touch. Strong tackle there by Warhurst. It's another line out on the quarter line, quickly thrown in. Running straight. Just trying to catch Japan unawares, but not coming off then for the Americans. Hiro goes himself, steps beautifully. Hiro straight through, looks for support. There's Latu. Latu finds Miyamoto on the halfway line. But a fine passage of play there from Japan. Hiro, the 5'8", stepping superbly and finding good support from his back row and taking play over halfway.
Hiro there showing all the skill and experience that he got with the season with the Richmond club in London. Beautiful stepper, moves well with the ball in both hands, looking for the support, and wasn't the support there. Plenty of it.
Saunders, loose pass behind Purcell. Can't pick it up. Nelson does though. Immediately caught though by Miyamoto. Japan applying all the pressure at the moment. But Japan certainly applying the pressure, and Ron Mays isn't happy.
Well, twice there, Ray Nelson, the fullback, number 15, running back into position, has been called on to make the last-ditch effort.
Hiro, back inside it goes to Yoshinaga, trying to belt his way through but can't. Finally picked up by Yasumi. Penalty goes to Japan over the top. The American forwards. So another chance here for a further 3 points.
I think possibly, Peter, as well, the American breakaway tackling the Japanese player before he'd got back to his feet. Involved in the previous play. The ball came free. And it was Warhurst that leapt off the ground to tackle the Japanese halfback, Ikuta. Beautiful move here. Set move work, bringing the outside centre back in strongly. You watch here now. He goes to ground, and there, number 6, Warhurst, is on the ground. He's still on the ground. The ball smuggled free, and here comes Ikuta, and off the ground there. While he's still on the ground, it's Warhurst making the tackle illegal.
Yoshinaga. This to give Japan the lead. What score is it? No, that's the left again to swing the round late. Score still 3-3 after 15 minutes of play.
Well, we saw Michael Liner pull the ball to the left all day yesterday in the Australia-England clash. Mitre balls not used all the time here in Australia, but they're the ball for the World Cup.
A kick from Nelson not going over the quarter line. Hatsumi Miyachi, the Japanese coach. Ikutu, lost forward there by Latu. Hanu, out to Purcell. Almost up to halfway. Saunders. Can't get back to Everett, the hooker standing out. So a slight knock on there seen by the referee.
Well, what a mixture here today. Americans, Japanese with a French referee, a real smorgasbord of rugby.
Saunders to Clarkson. Not a good kick. Purcell goes up and takes it. And he's crunched there by Anuki. Into touch, finally goes Bizarre. Now it's not in touch yet, the flag has gone up. Bizarre taking the ball over the touchline. So Japanese ball in. The referee wanting a clearer passage between the two. Japan win it. Hiro. Dummies, gets past one. Good support there from Miyamoto. Running out this side. Onuku. There's the hooker. Fujita. Ball going forward.
Again, good chance to look at these two scrums by comparison.
Held by Vizard. Saunders now. Back to Clarkson. Not a good kick again. Straight up. Taken by Hayashi, the Japanese captain. Close to the touchline on this grandstand side.
Good work. Good work, White. We'll keep this going forward.
And here at Burlingham saying, let's keep this going forward. That's what they're trying to do. With Clarkson, the 5'8", not using his back stall. Quite content to just play the ball over the Japan forwards. Free kick. Not straight. A throw in from Saunders. Fujita from the tap. Caught by Burlingham. There goes Anuku up to the quarter line. And a fine run by the winger. What a great step. 13 test matches he's played for Japan, one of the most experienced players in this Japanese team. There he is.
Anuki went round his opposition, Mike Purcell, as though he was standing still, or he did make him stand still. Beautiful, clever football, and kept the ball available.
Everett. Saunders. There's Clarkson. Again, not really making much ground there. Taking play up to the quarter line.
Kicking under pressure, Clarkson. Not being able to get either any of the distance. The ball not clearing the...
Quick throw in by the Japanese. Referee wants to again, though. Fujita throwing way out in centre field. There were so many different line-out throws with their lack of height. Fujita toes it through. Fujita can get on the take. Good score here. Who's there first? Saunders. Saunders forced it. That was a close call, though, for the United States. Fujita, clever skills from the hooker. And almost a try to Japan.
The hooker Fujita out of the starting blocks like a 100-metre sprinter. Look at him go, and it's only the halfback from America, Saunders, that's able to get in front of him and use that shoulder to good benefit.
Japanese players down injured. And Chris, interesting to see the different styles of both the teams.
Peter, it is the Japanese keen to run it at all times. The Americans are using that kick and chase game, but it's not coming together yet properly. Clarkson is not being able to get the distance with his kicks that he's wanted to, and the American forwards are not being able to roll forward. And, Japan ever so keen to run the ball back at them at every opportunity.
We start from the quarter line. Saunders can't pick it up cleanly. Knocked on. So a scrum on the far side. Clarkson. Big kick. Nofamuki trying to get through but can't. Plenty of support there for him though. There goes Miyamoto. Now Ikuta, the halfback. Back there is Everett, the hooker. A little bit of seagulling. Steps nicely around one. The pass to Vizard. And the penalty goes to Japan.
Well, the referee, yeah, here he comes with the big swinging arm who uses the fend. Referee right onto it.
It's Fujita, the hooker. Ikuta now Hiro. Outside it goes to Kusuki. Kusuki out wide to Nofamuki. He scored in the corner. Will he? Yes, try! Nofamuki scoring in the far corner, the first try of the game. Fine piece of work by the Japanese back line. And Japan leads by 7 points to 3 midway through this first half.
Great ball won here by the forwards, and great ball by Hirao, the 5'8". That was the one that made the effort. Finished then by Kutsuki, the pass drawing the American winger in. And there he is, Nofamuki, the Tongan in the Japanese side, scoring wide out in the corner. Great try. Beautiful ball here. The winger able to stay on his line, got him outside his opposition, Gary Hine, and he only had to finish. A lovely leap, a great try.
Yoshinaga, 1 from 3 so far. His kick from the touchline. Across the face of goal. And so Japan continue to hold that 4-point cushion. Well, Japan using their back line. The Americans content to kick it. Clarkson. Ayashi knocked away from him by Warhurst. Hiro finds touch on the far side, 10 metres from halfway. Chris, the time might have come for the Americans to start running the ball a bit.
Peter, I think so. Clarkson hasn't settled. We haven't seen the players outside him. Higgins looks as though he's keen for a run. Purcell has got ability. I think it's time to give him a run and let's get into the middle of the into the Japanese backs. That's bad
Pass from Saunders. Halu goes back to pick up, but he's immediately caught by Jida. But play comes back for a knock-on.
Japanese seem extremely composed. They know they've got a task. They've got great confidence in all the players in their side. They've prepared for this World Cup for the last 5 years.
Saunders, Clarkson again kicks, puts it high. Gukai underneath it. He can't take it. Plenty of American jerseys through there. Penalty goes Japan though.
He's penalised one of the American players for being inside the 10, but Higgins had definitely put them on side from wide out.
Hiro with the touch on the far side. He's impressed me tremendously at 5'8" so far. That's a good kick. 12 metres into the American territory. Looks such a composed 5'8". The penalties going to Japan 6-1, you can see there. But he really has marshalled this Japanese backline just so well, giving his outside men plenty of opportunities. Japanese ball. Cheetah. Taken well by Higgins. Saunders. Clarkson finally gets some timing with his boot and takes play over halfway.
Right there with that time by Higgins, the outside centre for America, caught badly in a bad position. It was he that wrestled himself into the position to provide that quick ball to the American forwards.
Ed Burlingham there, and Yahashi, the Japanese captain. Clarkson looking to link with his forwards, almost gets through. Well picked up there by Bailey. Saunders. Halu. Purcell taken though by Higgins. Inside the Japanese quarter. Saunders. That's Lambert. 15 out from the Japanese goal line. Halu. Clarkson. Caught by Hiro. Americans want the ball quickly. Here they come again. Halu. Back inside to Bailey, the prompt forward. Here we go again, Burlingham, out to Higgins. Purcell going for the corner, and Purcell will score. They won 5 rucks in a row there, the Americans. It had to happen. And Purcell going over in the corner to level the scores at 7-all. 15 minutes left in the first half.
Mike Purcell epitomising the feeling of the Americans there, and he said, all right. And finally, the ball worked wide by the Americans. It was a one-on-one situation, and Purcell did all the good work on the outside. Higgins involved there too. He's having a ball of a game. Look at the strong outside centre. Puts a good ball there to Purcell. Inside, it's round his man and over.
Ray Nelson on the quarter line, 5 metres in. Hits it pretty well. That looks a good kick. That's a fine kick. And so the Americans go into the lead for the first time in this game. They lead by 9 points to 7. We said this match was going to be close before it started. It certainly has turned out that way.
Americans, Peter, nearly falling into the trap that time. They kept running the ball wide. The Japanese were not committing to the ruck. They were all standing in the back line, and it was as if the Americans were going to be stopped in their forward movement. But finally, they came the right way, and it worked out.
Clarkson. Big kick from the 5/8. Taking play 5 metres from halfway.
I think from that last display, the Americans, it should be time that they start maintaining possession of this ball. Clarkson, who took it up last time for the first occasion in the match, and he saw the benefits of it. I think a bit more of it wouldn't be a bad thing.
Clarkson. Here's Higgins. Hine. Crunched by Nofamuki. That was a solid tackle. He flew through. There he is. Cheetah goes off the back to Latu. Nofamuki's forced backwards there. Hiro. Mukai. Mukai, the fullback. Almost through. Out it comes to Onuki. Onuki. The pass out to Kutsuki. Cheetah and Hayashi try to pick it up.
Great counter-attack from Japan. The ball worked superbly wide.
Quite amazing to see the forwards keep coming round and supporting the backs, Chris, aren't they? The second rows, the back rows are all there.
Very mobile, Peter. Not heavy by our standards. Their support players just quite incredible. They swarm like with their dark hair, they look like a mob of ants.
Saunders, Clarkson. 10 metres from halfway, he finds touch. Joe Clarkson settled down a little bit in the last 10 minutes or so. Starting to find more distance with his line kicking. Hayashi there, the headgear on. Way down the back. Hiro was caught by Lambert, crunched. Penalty goes to Japan over the top of the American forwards.
I think you can see the enthusiasm there of the Americans. Lambert smashed out the Japanese player taking the ball of the line out, and that inspired some of his forward players to get in there the same way.
Looks like Yoshinaga again having the kick. So far landed 1 from 4. This is a long range attempt. 5 metres into American territory. About 10 metres off centre. No breeze to hinder or assist him. Looks pretty good. Again out to the left, just missing. Good attempt. Score remains USA 9, Japan 7. 10 minutes left in this first half. Clarkson. Hayashi knocks it down. Clarkson. Oh, that's Nelson, fullback. Ray Nelson playing his 6th international today. Everett, the hooker, kicks in the touch.
The sun streaming in on that far side of the field. Now quite different to the conditions which ruled at the start of the game.
Kutu, Hirao. Urai in for fullback. Out it goes to Anuku. Anuki still going, knocked down though by Yoshinaga. Purcell jigging his way through. Halu can't take it. Knock on, says the referee.
Great attack by the Japanese and equally good defence by the Americans. There was plenty there for the Eagles to cover defend.
Smell Purcell, the winger down injured. He knocked to the head.
Good work, the ball worked wide. Going in behind Yoshinaga that time, but it's the Americans. There's about 5 of them, some not in screen there, that have crossed in support. Great cover, and if this ball had been held onto by Hello, it could have been anyone's guess what might have happened. It would have cut them right open.
Purcell's okay, back on his feet. So the scrum will go down 10 metres into American territory. Ikuta, Hiro, along the line. Alfamuki, knocked down there by Vizard, the Americans. Saunders, at second row up, Burlingham, the captain, over halfway. Saunders calls for it again. Clarkson, Halu, kicking through for Purcell. Across there, though, is Anuki.
Well, a shame that time the ball went astray off the boot of Hello. They just left it a little long before making the decision and then forced to kick because it was a bit cluttered.
Buxton Walls to the Americans by 10-3 at the moment. Akutu can't pick up some loose ball. Well laid back for the Americans. Clarkson puts it high. Mukai getting back. Clarkson, can he take it? No, Mukai has it. Off the left foot, finds touch. Good piece of play by the fullback. Under pressure. But came out of that well because Clarkson landed it just where he wanted it.
Great work there by Clarkson, but he's being well supported. And I tell you, somebody who's doing a great amount of work, that is the prop Rick Bailey from Oakland in California. Gee, isn't he mobile? Really throwing himself into the game.
Birmingham wins well. Clarkson, Halu. Nelson is caught. Saunders, Clarkson, trying to use his weight, lays it back well. That's Vizard. Not much forward support there, though, from the Americans. Kicked away by Latu. Heiner's back there for the Americans. It's round 1. He's in trouble, knocked down by Saunders. Japan have it, that's Ochida. Ochida going through, Ochida straight through. Chase to the ball here. Nelson's back there for the Americans. He'll get there first, but a penalty interference. No doubt about that. As Cheetah kicked the ball through, knocked down after he kicked it. Take the tap. Hiro going himself. Good pass. Out it goes to Fumukui, I think it is. Pick up the try scorer. It might have been Yoshinaga.
Beautiful work by Japan.
It was Yoshinaga the try scorer. And so Japan now lead by 11 points to 9.
They had America on the hop here. They'd driven them right back close to their line. They got the penalty. Instead of taking the easy option, they decide to keep going. Good work, Japan.
So Yoshinaga now to attempt to convert his own try. 5 minutes left in this first half. Yoshinaga hits it well. Misses again though. Out to the left. It's not being able to judge that.
Going to be costly. That's something which sounds easy to say, but I think Yoshinaga feels himself. That's, I think, 3 or 4 now, Peter. That
1 from 6 he's kicked so
1
far.
from 6 he's kicked, yes. Well, it's the opportunity to jump free in World Cup conditions. You don't let people off the hook that easily.
Taken in there by Coley for America. Clarkson trying to jink his way through. Saunders. It's Bailey. Wade goes to Higgins. Vizard picks it up. Vizard almost straight through. Saunders. Clarkson, Halu, Nelson going straight through and he'll score. Fine throw by the fullback. And the Americans now lead by 13 points to 11. And what an entertaining game. We've got it on our hands now. So Ray Nelson finding some clear space in front of him.
Great work here by Clarkson, who started it all by taking the ball forward. He received great play and then great support and came back into the play. And Nelson, he saw the line, he could have taken it around, but no way. He was going to get it down as quickly as he possibly could. Hello, beautiful pass. The gap there for Nelson. The Japanese winger staying with his winger, but Nelson shut the gate.
Nelson now trying to convert his own try. 2 tries each in this first half so far. Nelson has 2 from 2. On the quarter line. 13 metres in. Doesn't hit it well, but it'll scrape over. It does, it's there. And so USA now leads by 15 points to 11.
Gets the high five from Blaine Warhurst. Great try for America, critical stage. A couple of minutes before half-time. Not only equal, but went back in front of the Japanese.
Restart from Yoshinaga. Nelson. Not a good kick, though. On the quarter line. So Japan here a chance to try and regain that lead just before half-time. Kutu can't pick it up. Knocks it back into the forward. Saunders clears. Referee has moved infield. USA will be quite happy with a 4-point lead at half-time. 2 minutes out from the break. Saunders, Clarkson. Good kick. So again, Joe Clarkson relieves the pressure for the Americans. Again, the Japanese call the short line. There's Fujita, veteran of 19 tests. Beautifully picked up there by Latu. Not in straight though. One by Japan. Hiro. There goes Kutsuki straight through. The long pass out to Nafamuki. Hiro sets up Latu well. Inside the American quarter. Japan's still going forward, but the Americans get the ball back. Parley is caught on the far side. Into touch finally. And the referee blows half-time with USA leading Japan by 15 points to 11 for Japan. Nafamuki and Toshinaga the try scorers. Toshinaga a penalty goal, and for the USA, Purcell and Nelson scoring tries. Nelson 2 goals and a penalty goal.
15 points to 11 then, one try ahead, the Americans over Japan. And Murray Mexted, that scoreline a reflection of the way the match has gone, do you think?
Yes, I think so. I think that the Japanese are playing textbook rugby. It's classic stuff to see the background that they've obviously had. I would imagine in the second half they'll prove a little bit too technical and end up winning the game. That's my prediction.
They've got superior speed also, do you feel?
I think probably fitness-wise, their body position in rucks and mauls is good. Although the American team has won 4 or 5 series of second phase, third phase, fourth phase, and they look good at times too. It's a great game.
But Bernie, isn't the bigger size of the American forwards going to count in the end?
I don't think so, because in the scrums they're holding their own, the Japanese are, and they're actually moving the Americans around. And I think that they've got very good technique in all their aspects of play, and the only thing is that they've just got to clear all the skirmishes. They've just got to clear the balls as quick as they can and get it amongst the backs. And I think they've had about 3 tries gone begging just because the pass has been about a metre too far behind, and the guys are actually running through holes.
It's a bit of a contrast with the size of the Japanese players compared to Japanese teams that have toured here in the past and only been given matches against New Zealand juniors, New Zealand universities.
That's right. Obviously, a couple of Tongans in there have added a bit of size to them, and I think the earlier game today could have done with those two. But no, I think they're putting up a great show.
Murray, you were just commenting before that the American team, in fact, was really thumped by Canada in a recent North American test match.
Yes, I think this Canadian side looks good. The Americans have obviously put in a bit of effort since that game, and they're showing great spirit, and they're also showing that they do know a little bit about tactical rugby. I mean, they're actually giving it a go. They're not kicking it all away, and they've got a lot of ability close to to loose play, to the ruck and maul, and I think it'll be interesting to see how the second half develops.
There has been a reasonable amount of New Zealand influence in American rugby in the history of Californian rugby. Pat Vincent has been there, Tiny Hill has been there to give some coaching advice. Can you see any New Zealand type of play coming through?
Certainly, especially the way they lay the ball back. They seem to put the ball on the ground and the players drive over the top of it, and I think that is definitely the influence of the New Zealanders who have been playing over there.
One point that we should remember, though, is that Japan are not even the Asian champions. They were actually beaten by Korea in the final of the Asian Championship this year. Korea, in turn, got absolutely hammered by Australia just a week ago, so that perhaps puts the overall standard of this game in context?
I'm not too sure, because Fiji and Tonga aren't the Pacific champions. So, Western Samoa could, if they had been here, could have proved a few things. But I think that they're putting in as good as a display as they're capable of, but I don't think that these two teams would worry any of the big guns.
All right. 15 points to 11 then. The United States leading Japan at half-time in the Pool 1 match at Ballymore, and we'll return there in just a moment.
Rugby World Cup action continues with live coverage presented in association with National Mutual.
The American team coming back to their positions for the start of the second half. 5-minute half-time breaks in these Rugby World Cup matches, that by international agreement. Referee today is Guy Moret. The half-time break will just be under 5 minutes. Back to our commentators, Peter Longman and Chris Handy at Ballymore.
That's the half-time score, so play about to begin in the second half. The Yoshinaga just waiting, bring the ball back up on its mount. And so play to begin now in the second half. Kick into no man's territory. Halu's there. Clarkson juggles it. Not a good kick from him across field. 5 metres out from the quarter line, he finds touch. Japan probably slightly fitter side. Quick throw in, taken by Vizard. Saunders. Japan offside there, no doubt about that. It was Chida, number 8, through on the wrong side.
It's a chance for the Eagles to balance themselves. Good kick upfield by Clarkson, would be just what their forwards were looking for.
And he certainly did that, Chris. Only 10 metres out from the quarter line, back into Japanese territory. Taken there by Oyagi. That was Kutsugi. And a good kick from the inside centre. Play back into Eagles territory. Number 12. Playing his 6th test for Japan today. His debut against France back in '85.
Blue 275.
There's the call, 275. That's where it goes in the centre. Saunders, Clarkson. Only made about 5 metres forward. The penalty goes to Japan offside. The Americans, Clarkson didn't run his players onside at all.
Although they were run onside by the winger, Peter, they've got to be making an attempt to get out of that 10-metre circle which surrounds the place where the ball drops, and it's not sufficient just to stand there and wait to be put onside.
Yoshinaga puts it up high. Vizard takes it beautifully under pressure. Inside the quarter, Saunders decides to clear himself and does that successfully.
Beautiful up and under there. Anything could have happened, but Vizard up to the task.
Vizard has been the impressive number 8 for the Eagles today. Almost taken there by Higgins. Kicked through by Halu. Bukai out halfway. Bailey, Burlingham. Picked up and dumped. Saunders, Halu. Waits for support. With him now. Laid back beautifully. Away goes Warhurst. Now Saunders. Halu. Whistle's gone.
Good defence by the Japanese, though. Continuous support play by the Eagles, but not able to break that line. Great crunching tackles. This is the sort of stuff that the Eagles must continue to do. Instead of throwing it too wide, keep punching those holes in the middle.
Akuta kicks it high. Nelson back there. And dribbles into touch. The Japanese players pouring through. Chida leading the charge. Hiro along the line. Suku. Yoshinaga. Pass goes behind Onuki. Nelson. Kick through by Clarkson. Bukai, long chase back. In trouble. Now it goes to Nafamuki. He cleans up. But Japan certainly putting themselves under pressure there.
Great work by Vizard. He kept going. He had one man to get, and he held onto his leg. Forced the pressure on Japan. And now the Eagles in good position.
Players down injured now. USA is still leading by 15 points to 11. That's Hirao, who's the player who was injured. Just looking at the second half so far, Chris, Americans starting off with a fair degree of confidence.
I think so too, Peter, and the Japanese doing a little bit more kicking. But I think as we can see the play develop, the Americans are strong with the ball in their hands. Although the Japanese defence has been good, there only needs to be one chink in that armour, and you get the feeling that this wave of American strength will pour through.
So Lyon on the far side. Vizard goes up high. Can't control it though. Americans looking for quick ball there. Couldn't take it out as Oyagi had the ball. Held by Vizard. forced backwards now is Lambert. Work from the Japanese forwards there, really pouring through, giving the American forwards a chance to wrap round. Finally tidied up by Wanuki. Good touch on the far side. Scrum on the far side. Saunders. Running across field is Clarkson. In centre field. Ball goes loose. Fed by Ikuta. Hiro. Now he kicks. That's a good kick. Away from Nelson. But beautifully taken, though, by Purcell. Nelson returns the kick. Bukai inside his quarter. He finds touch, 5 from halfway. But Hiro, where he just kicked the ball, he can get tremendous distance. And on most occasions, a lot of accuracy as well.
Just a stabilising passage of play, a couple of scrums, a couple of set plays, the ball being kicked, a slight breather. I get the feeling it's just about to break loose, though.
Taken in by Bailey there. Clarkson. Bukai again, takes it, loses the ball though. Picked up by Yoshinaga. Now it comes out to Kutsuki. Kicking ahead. Across there is Purcell, covering up well from the far wing and finds touch. But the breakaway there so dangerous for the Americans. And the Japanese get a bit of clear territory in front of them. But Purcell doing the job well there from the far side, coming across to cover, saving America there. Ikuta is caught. Two in the line there, so a free kick going to Japan.
Here's where they're dangerous.
Fujita is caught high. And a penalty. They take the line for Fujita far too high. And so a chance here for Yoshinaga to add 3 points. He's only kicked 1 from 6 so far.
Fujita's still holding on to a...
Kutsuki, in fact, is taken over the kicking now.
I think that's wise too, Peter. 1 from 6. It's not what you'd call having a good day.
Japan could have held quite a handy lead if he'd landed a few of those kicks rather. Kutsuki lines the ball up. Inside the quarter line. 17 in from touch. Kutsuki hits it and he misses. So a horrid day for Japan with their kicks at goal.
It was a better looking kick, but I think he expected it to come left. Stayed out to the right.
Restart from the quarter. Hayashi takes it well. There goes Horiguchi, the front rower. Hiro, that's good tactics, putting it high. Nelson underneath it. Knocked down, whose ball is it? Taken away there by Miyamoto, close to goal. Will he score? Miyamoto still going, only 2 metres out. Japan's ball again, trying to barrow away their way through. Knocked forward.
Oh, superb attack. Great defence by the Americans, though. Number 6, Miyamoto, streaming for the line, driven back. Good stuff by the Americans. Great attack by the Japanese.
Saunders. A penalty to America against the Japanese front row collapsing that scrum. Saunders looking for touch on this grandstand side. Hands the ball, in fact, onto Clarkson now. Leaves some pressure for the Eagles. One by Japan. Hiro running at this time, Kutsugi. Long pass out wide to Anuki. Trying to jink his way back in. Miyamoto losing it. Japan, Fujita. Intercepted though there by Nelson. Hiro trying to go himself. Inside the American quarter. Whistle goes and Japan get the put in. But again, very good concerted attack from the Japanese.
There he is, number 1, Rick Bailey, right there at the end. He's having a blinder. Everything going on out there at the moment. Everything happening thick and fast. The Japanese yabbering in their own language, really shifting the ball and the attack quickly.
Akuta, Hiro. Goes himself, sets the ball up beautifully for Kitsugu. Hiro again, putting his man into space, holding the pass up. That's one of the Japanese players injured.
Well positioned here, set play. Japanese backline seem well organised with set moves. Anything could happen. This is the man-on-man situation that they also are looking for.
Chida is the player injured, so he's got knocked to the head, getting some of the magic water. It's the chance Japan looking for early in the second half. They want to score first in the second half.
I wonder whether they'll take the soft option with the kick at goal. This depends on the American scrum. They pressured the Japanese there at the initial put in. If they can maintain it, that's the way to upset the back line.
Shida. Supported there by Miyamoto. Loose pass. Bukai, the fullback. Not a good drop at goal, but a penalty anyhow. Goes to Japan. One wonders what they'll do here. Hayashi says, let's have, or try and get the 3 points.
I think he's wise. 15-11, 3 points and bring it close. It needs a try now.
And Kutsuki it is, who'll be attempting his penalty shot. Penalties there, certainly in Japan's advantage, 11-3. None from one so far. This will be from his favoured side, though. Round the corner kicker. And finally steers it through. So there's only 1 point in it now. With USA leading Japan by 15 points to 14. "14 minutes gone in the second half. Still anyone's game. Well, judge kick. It's finally Rick Bailey waiting his forwards, but penalty going to the American Eagles.
And I can't see why either. Mr. Moret. Obviously some interesting decision that he's made.
Because Bailey was standing up on his own.
Rick Bailey was standing on his own. There was no ruck or maul formed. The Japanese were quite entitled to come around and even take the ball from him on the American side and head off. Strange decision.
So Joe Clarkson building the mound.
looks like he's built to give it a decent whack.
5 metres in from touch, 10 metres into Japanese territory. Important kick. Hits it well and is well short. Taken beautifully there by Hoyagi, the second rower. And he finds touch. What a fine piece of work there by the second rower. Showing us all the skills.
6'3" tall, Hoyagi.
Burlingham taking it. Away goes Lambert now.
Good play by the Americans.
Up towards the quarter line. Saunders, wrong way, behind Burlingham. Picked up by Hine, but caught by Fujita. They've won it now. Kicked across field by Nofamuki. Japan still going forward. Hiro. Whistle goes.
Americans falling into the trap, Peter, of letting this ball go from ruck and maul situation too quickly. The Japanese are not committed to the ruck and maul. Their heads are up. They're spreading off the back of the ruck and maul, and they're interfering with the next phase of play that the Americans have.
Chris, looking at that, the second phase play, the Americans haven't quite got that right, have they?
They haven't, no. They're not settling, and they're not playing it at their time and in their conditions, under their conditions. They should be using the rolling maul, keeping that ball secured and hidden from the Japanese so that they all have to come in to really commit themselves. Otherwise, that American maul will roll forward. They're pulling it free quickly where the Japanese can see it and it's exposed, and then they're able to go and attack it. As soon as it goes to ground, they're picking it up and counter-attacking.
Scrum 10 from halfway. Taken there by Vizard, straight through over the halfway line, support out there in Hine. Kicked through there by Warhurst. And a poor attempt at kicking there from Fujimura. Be a score as it is. Nofamuku tried to kick it away. He missed it. And Warhurst scoring the try. An important try too for the Americans. Poor piece of play by the Japanese winger. And so the USA now leads by 19 points to 14.
Against the run of play, the Americans didn't come to the big fella Vizard. He had to throw the ball inside. Warhurst showing all the skill. He's been there every time today. He chases the ball free. He doesn't accept that Nofamuku is going to clear the ball. He keeps going, and look at him through there, and there only needs downward pressure on the ball to score the try. Clearly there for you. A beautiful camera shot that was. This one as well will show you. And here's Hine. Look at the big arms reaching out and down.
It's a horrible mistake by the Japanese winger, though. Nofamuki. Now Ray Nelson. Can he keep his perfect kicking record? Hits it pretty well. Is it there? Might just scrape over. Is it through? Right from the touchline. 21 points to 14 now. And that kick could be vital. 7-point break now for the Americans.
Well, you say it could be vital, Peter. I think it. I really think it is. The Japanese, though, will refuse to give in. I'd say that I've seen them play. I've played against them myself, and they just will not lie down. They will come back strongly and quickly.
Clarkson. See if the Americans try and close this game out now. Midway through this second half.
I feel that the Americans have got to keep control of that ball. If they try and close it up by using the lines, any mistake will allow the Japanese to counter-attack. They must keep on the front foot, America.
Akuta in trouble there. kick through by Saunders. Mukai has it. Clarkson across there. The kick, keeping it in play well. Straight back to Nelson. But that Japanese kick through from Mukai certainly paying off. Play inside the Eagles quarter.
Dangerous here from set play.
No one wants at the moment. Finally, Warhurst goes down on. Clarkson. Mukai. Kicking towards touch. Bounces once into touch. Perfectly judged from the fullback. Quite a good game too. The Japanese number 15.
Difficult kick that, Peter, in general play. A high ball to drop inside touch.
Say certainly dominating the lineouts. Clarkson. Ten from halfway. Japanese again opting for the short line out. Hayashi wins. Oyagi picks up. Hiro almost through. Good defence though from the Americans. Ball pops out. One feels the American forwards just starting to get on top now. Weight, extra weight, taking its toll. Vizard. Ball goes loose. Latu picking up. Players bogged down at the moment in centre field. That's the halfway line, you can see. Vizard holds again. Saunders. Clarkson. Jinks straight through. Nice stepping from the 5'8". Saunders. Halu. Kicking through for Purcell. Purcell almost getting to it. Ball goes loose. Who's there first? Halu on the toe. Whistler's gone though. Tackled without the ball. Some interference as well there. It would have been a try for the Americans, but the whistle had gone.
We've seen that on a number of occasions now, Peter, when Clarkson decides to have a dab with the ball, to join with the second row, to join with the back row, they become very dangerous all of a sudden and very strong. And that situation there, the penalty arose from it, but it was only just centimetres away from being another Eagles try.
Japanese relieving some pressure. 5 metres from halfway. Conditions again overcast. We saw a few patches of sun early in the second half. They've gone now and conditions getting quite cool. Up goes Swartz. Clarkson. Mukai. Touch on the full. Outside his quarter that time.
I still would like to see this American backline work. We haven't seen it all day. I suppose winning's the name of the game, but I believe that the strength out wide with Higgins and the two wingers with Nelson ever lurking would be a great ploy.
Clarkson. Again going himself. Ball goes loose. Nofamuki losing it. I don't think Higgins, in fact, has touched the ball in the second half. He looked the most dangerous American back on the field in the first half.
And Clarkson still turns back inside. Strange.
Hiro won't find touch. Nelson is there. Knocked down there by Oyagi. Saunders waits for it. With him now. Clarkson. No, let's give it out. Finally finds Higgins. Over the quarter line he goes. Losing the ball forward. Penalty goes to Japan.
And why, he says, didn't that ball go along the back line earlier? They had the Japs turned around.
Japanese player down. Looks like the outside centre Yoshinaga. That's the fullback, in fact, Mukai.
Here's Clarkson holding onto the ball, not even looking out wide at the support that he did have. There was some close marking, but Higgins would have been in a lot better situation had he have got that ball earlier.
One wonders when the Americans play Australia next weekend, those sort of tactics, I think the Australians would love that.
I think so. They get picked up by a very big and much stronger back row. You can see Australia using that ball out wide.
Hiro look for touch on the far side. 21-24. The Americans lead. 21-14 rather. The Americans lead. Hiro finding touch into, I think, right on halfway. Americans holding a 7-point lead. 15 minutes to go in the second half. Number 4, Kevin Swartz goes up. Saunders. Kicked through by Clarkson. Knocked back by Onuki. Trouble, Mukai. He tidies up well. So it takes play outside the quarter. Fine piece of work by the fullback.
Been a real tradesman today. That ball worked up the line, not much room in which to move.
And lineouts are certainly favouring the Americans, not surprising really. 15-7, better than 2-to-1 ratio. Obviously, until the Japanese can discover some 6'8", 6'7" second rows, they're always going to have a problem in the line-out. And but still, Chris, even though the lead 7 points now, Japan not out of it.
Japan not out of it, Peter. We've seen that they're most dangerous when they're most under pressure, and if the Americans relieve that pressure for one moment, they'll have the ball run at them, and they'll have them run at them out wide, and that's where they're most vulnerable.
Burlingame wins well this time. Penalty goes Japan. $13 the penalties now to Japan. Hiro.
Seems rather strange that a side that aren't doing so well in the line-out would use that sort of ball and kick for the line again, giving the possession to the Americans. I'd like to see that ball put high and to have at least some opportunity to get it back.
Good drive from the American forwards there. Saunders, Clarkson. Kicks again. Chasing through is Higgins. Higgins knocks it back. Away they go. Fujita losing it forward. Picked up out there by Lambert. Long pass to Purcell. Back into Saunders, who can't clean it up. He knocks it forward, so a knock-on rule. And the scrum on the far side. The pace of this game has slowed somewhat last 15 minutes.
I think it's starting to tell, and it suits the Americans. Keeping the ball, using their strength.
Screwed round well by the American forwards. Hiro. Good kick. They really need more than this. As Chris said, lineouts are of little value to them. Maybe take a few chances. running it or kicking over the American backs. Something different. Makuta walks the short side. Chasing it through there is Anuki. Picked up by Purcell in the touch. Flying through there, Anuki. The scrum to go down. Hero. Putting it up high for Nelson. Takes it beautifully, the American fullback. Under pressure. Wrestled to the ground, though, by Yoshinaga. Good hands. Higgins losing it, though. Knocked down there by Clarkson. And offside. The Japanese inside backs.
Good refereeing by the Frenchman. American defence at 6s and 7s, but the Japanese standing in front of that advantage line, which is the feet of the last player in the maul.
Clarkson. Good kick from him. Taking play back into Japanese territory. Time running out, though, for Japan now. 21-14. The Americans lead. 10 minutes left in this second half. Fujita, number 2 for Japan. Taken well by Hoyagi. There's Kitsuki. Long pass. Purcell knocks it down. Quick hands now to Onuki. Good tackle, though, by Nelson. Kicking through is, but the cover defence there, the Americans, very good indeed. Japan keeping the ball moving.
Well, if I was handing out trophies for guts efforts today, Ray Nelson would be the first on the list. He's done everything required of him. He's kicked goals, he's caught the high ball, he's gutsed it out by making the last-ditch tackles, he's toughed it up in the middle, made a great contribution to this Eagles side.
Latu is caught 5 metres out from the quarter line. Ball's loose as Ikuda couldn't pick it up. Penalty goes to Japan in front of the post, though.
Now,
what will line.
I would be very careful if I were the Americans, whether they will take the kick at goal or whether they'll...
Hayashi says, let's have the 3 points.
And Wise as well. 10 minutes still remaining. It would make, if it was successful, only 4 points the difference. A converted try would still get them home in front of the Americans.
One wonders if the Japanese had landed a couple of penalty goals. There's the replay. You can see
there we have
Japanese halfback, the ball kicked back. And the Japanese players losing control of it. The referee says offside. So it's Kutsuku, 1 from 2 so far. Right in front, 23 metres out. Hits it and misses. Absolute horror on the face of the Japanese camp.
Dismay, I think. Very sickening feeling.
So prepared kicks and goal now, Chris.
Yes.
Halu can't pick it up. Knocked on.
Golden opportunity missed.
Rod May's not happy with that piece of work.
Well, I think they should be attacking themselves. And if they were running the ball out wide in the backs.
Hiro. Out it comes Kutsuki. Quick hands. Out it goes to Nofamuki. Good support there from Chida. Penalty goes to the Americans. Didn't release the ball on the ground. Silly penalty there. Japan on a roll. But now America have a chance to settle. And Clarkson driving Japan back. Japanese ball in here for Chita. Well won by Japan. Hiro. Kitsuki. Caught well though by Vizard. Again, the ball not coming out of there. Americans may have this game in control now. Hero, good kick through, finds touch into the American quarter. One wonders how great a player Hero would be, Chris, behind a pack that was winning 60% possession.
Line out ball, he'd be a gem. He's a very clever footballer. He's tall for a 5'8". He's very well balanced, and he knows exactly what to do with the ball.
One by Japan. Hiro running it. Going round in circles is Yoshinaga. Still going Yoshinaga. Sets up support well. Latu, only 10 metres out. Yahashi. There goes Miyamoto. Now they swing it. Hiro going himself. Ball lost forward though by Nofamuki. Went the wrong way though on one occasion there. Nonetheless, only 5 metres out from the American goal line.
A couple of wrong options by the Japanese, but the defence of the American getting really desperate. The big front rowers and second rowers hurling themselves into the fray. It's good stuff.
Chida goes himself. Chida almost there. Japan, can they get the ball over the line? Whistle goes. Another put in.
Continually thrust back by the driving tackles of the Americans right on the line. There's times you think, here it is, Japan will score, and then they're just driven out of it by a crunching American tackle.
Hiro. Loose pass. Mukai picked up by Nofamuki. Could be a try in. Is it Miyamoto who scored? No. Miyamoto just short. Again, great defence from the Americans, especially Kevin Squaws.
I can't understand the ruling of the referee here. He's giving a put into America. It certainly wasn't a knock on. It isn't a 5-yard scrum that he's ruled. And I believe that the Japanese player scored the try.
Saunders feeds. Back to Clarkson, juggling it, in trouble here, Clarkson. Finally gets the ball to touch, but only 5 metres out from his goal line.
Well, I'd be using Ray Nelson behind me if I were the American side. Here it comes. You're watching, it comes through, over, and, well, just dropped just prior to the line. Well done, Mr. Gurray.
Short. Fujita from the front, very powerful from there. Americans trying to spoil the ball. Five metres, says referee. So another chance here for Japan. 3 minutes left in the match. Chida holds. Goes himself, Chida. Nofamuki. Hakuta. Japanese forwards driving on.
Great drive. They seem to be just faltering, the Japanese, and not really thrusting themselves at the line. They're marking time on the one spot, looking for the gap rather than looking for the thrust towards the line.
Well, 3 American forwards down injured, Chris. The Japanese just don't give up, do they?
They don't at all, but the American defence has been sensational. It really has. Japan have thrown everything at them, and they just keep getting repulsed by these huge American forwards that have really done tremendously well today to keep up with the pace initially, and then to be there when the chips are down at the end.
Yes, the commitment from the American team in the second half has been superb.
Yes, I think you're right. And it's passed right through them. They've had the stimulation of shock tries and kick goals, where Japan have just lost that impetus because their goal kickers are unable to just kick those points. And if you're a forward doing it tough, then you need that sort of little lift to keep you going. And the Americans have got it and the Japanese haven't.
Kevin Swartz back to his feet on the field. Now the American forwards down injured, close to Japanese goal. I think gives a chance for the Americans to have a breather. They've had to soak up enormous pressure, and the stretcher's been called for. Now, maybe the American captain, no, Ed Burlingham's up. Might be Kevin Swartz, is it? Let's try and pick up the player. He's on the ground. Just watching the replay here. And look at the American forwards just holding up, not giving away anything.
Already down over in the background. I think it might be Warhurst.
Mike Calder, the replacement player on the sideline, number 16.
The doctor on the field there in the
there he is, Mike Calder, warming up.
Dr. Fergus Wilson has to determine under the international rules whether the player is able to continue. It would appear from the injury that that's a mere formality. Ron May's concerned.
Player up on his feet.
Warhurst it is, the back rower.
What a big game he's had.
He says to Fergus Wilson, yes, I can continue, and that's all he needs.
Ikuta to feed.
Good scrum by the Japanese.
Here's the drive. Cheetah holding. Close to the goal line. Is it try? Try's been awarded. Nafamuku scores, but I don't think he forced the ball. We just watched that on replay. The try has been given. USA leading by 21 points to 18.
Great pressure, it deserved a try, this scrum. The ball at the last minute is uncontrolled. It comes forward in the scrum. Look at the drive from the Japanese. Does he get downward pressure on this ball? There it is. There's a hand. No downward pressure. No try. But it's been awarded, and they'll say, as Mark Ellis said yesterday, read about it in the paper. The ball on the short side, the winger gets his arm out to it, but it was close, but still no downward pressure.
So Nafamuku, the try scorer, and it's Kutsuki to try and convert. Hits it well, but out to the left. And so the score remains 21-18 in favour of the USA. And full-time has been blown.
The Japanese looking in dismay at the scoreboard, which is still 2 minutes showing on the clock.
So
they can't believe it.
Defeating Japan by 21 points to 18. 3 tries.
At Ballymore and Brisbane then, the dollar too strong for the yen in that Pool 1 match, so